full on salt and pepper going on here. So
Check out Superman. We can't see Darth Vader on the live, but look at that. See, this like sets us up the whole screen. At least we can see. So we're on YouTube now live.
Okay,
If
cool.
anyone wants to flop over, please do. I don't know if it's been so long since I've gone on it. We used to do it every week through StreamYard with producer Jay, and he's just gotten too busy to hang with us. But we're gonna try doing that again because TikTok might just get fucking canceled.
You did get a comment, Will, by the way. Wow, that is impressive. So just
yeah, right. See that, man?
The internet
You're
loves
so
your
shy.
The internet loves me. What did I say?
Put your shit away and grab a chair, man. Join the fucking.
Brakes, man, come on.
Huh?
I gotta do my truck.
Oh, he's good working on brakes. All right.
all right.
Yeah, well, you got
just
to
using the garage area.
Thank you, Cutie Hippo. I just try to stay on there for a while and see what's going on. Well, I mean, YouTube, I have to remember where the camera is for YouTube. I guess it's nice because they are in the same place.
Yeah, I was like,
If I
one's
can
just
do
higher
that,
than the other, so you
for
gotta
sure.
kind of.
Remind me to look at these comments if they come, right? Because I forget. I'll look at one and not the other. So I think the comments, they look like.
Is there a way to authorize me as like a moderator on YouTube as well? I know you put me in for TikTok.
Feel free to,
I've never played with that. I've never gone live on YouTube.
I don't know.
23 Summers TikTok is in flux right now. It hasn't officially been banned, and then they have like 9 months to find a buyer if it does go through. And so this will be around for a bit. We're not sure how long though.
Hi, Marion. Maybe Marion is Cutie Hippo. That's the thing about this. We don't really know.
Oh yeah, we have no idea who's hopping over.
Yeah, and then people,
handles vary.
And people will find this on their own. We're wondering. We're talking. It's a topic. Is TikTok actually going to get banned, Eric?
Is TikTok going to give in?
Banned.
Is it going to get banned?
Is it going to stand up? Or are they going to? I mean, where do you fall?
I expect it will get banned, and I expect it won't hold up in the Supreme Court. That's my prediction.
Oh, 23 Summers is in Ireland. My love, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Any chance you get to do an accent, man?
Any damn one.
You're all about it.
Good one, bad one, stereotypical one. Any kind of accent will do. I get such shit from actual Indians when I do the Indian accent because the Apu Simpsons Indian accent, it's over the top. It's stereotypical, but it's not really off base.
I think they get like to enough customers,
they get so grumpy
overseas, like.
But if I do the Indian accent, I recommend a vegetable dish.
Cool, blimey, it's my favourite atheist.
It's Casey Moroso with us again from the streets of London. Cool, blimey, how I miss old Blighty. You remind me every time I love.
Spare half a crown, could you?
Half a crown. The toppings for an old woman. What's up, Casey? We love you so much.
Good.
Reminds me of my days in Paddington, doesn't it?
In Paddington? What kind of relationship did you have?
The neighborhood, not the fucking bear, you twit. Cheers, Casey. We were fucking with a friend who's from the north. His name was Stu. We were talking about British weights and measures before because the world wrongly thinks that Americans don't know the metric system. It's like we solidly have both here. And if you're educated at all or you smoke weed, you know some metric, right?
It is just the signage doesn't have.
No,
right?
No, as much as you. But every car has
weather
both.
Still gives things in Fahrenheit and not Celsius.
Yes, but then again, and you can argue Celsius is not metric. It's just what Europe uses. There's nothing about Celsius because freezing is 0 and 100 is boiling does not make it metric. There's no decadegree or centidegree. There's no math involved in splitting.
Okay, but it's
not
the base on 100. I think is probably why.
But there's take that to the next step. All that is a benchmark that they put at 0 and 100, which makes logical sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't lead to any other metric. In fact, Fahrenheit and of course Kelvin are both are finely measured systems. Centigrade systeming is a bigger gradient in between each degree. So Fahrenheit is a more exacting measuring system and that's not, you're not switching to a different math with that. Yeah. With the other stuff, you understand. Fahrenheit is just what we're used to and we haven't changed. I pretty much know. I can work in Celsius in my head.
Yeah, Americans know metric. Just ask them about their 9mm hand.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows. If you get medicine, it doesn't come in ounces. Your doctor writes and talks to you in metric. Everybody knows,
Yeah.
the length of their dick in millimeters these days. Everybody.
I don't.
That's because you get to use centimeters. And some of us, get to use a decameter or two.
I remember there was some big news story that came out several years ago about average penis size in men. And I'm here to tell you, I beat it by a 1/16 of an inch. So.
Yes! Got to take a picture
Okay,
where you can grab
self-reported though. I'm curious to know how the data was gathered.
What's
fair.
what's the Slurpee machine comment?
Hey, if I was beating a whole bunch of liars, that's more impressive. So, thank you.
What's up, KM Rubix is with us. What's up, Kev? My guy. Matt Scott, we do just have to be different here. And a lot of it is the size of the travel. We have so much driving. Why would we change miles to kilometers? It just makes it more numbers for no reason.
Right?
It's
Size matters, man.
much, and then in England they still know what miles are too. Things are still handed down here and there. You still got your imperial pint, right? It's got nothing to do with, so it's like it'll never quite. Everyone knows what a dozen is. You still get a lot of dozens and baker's dozens, and if you go to buy shit. What's up, Chris? Booyah! Welcome to the Slightly Above Average Club. Well described, my
Those
friends.
Americans like big numbers.
We do like big numbers. We like inflating the size of things.
Absolutely.
Miles per hour, baby. That's right. MPH, baby.
Bill Willard, what's not right?
What's not
You
right?
gotta be
mate?
more specific because
Nothing's right.
there's
man.
also a bit of a delay, like a few seconds, but it's enough that we're not always sure which comment is about which.
Did you ever meet that? Oh, here now. See, I'm looking. Oh, thank you. Bohemians on YouTube too.
All right.
I remember me to look over here.
Yay!
Just try to catch some idiots on YouTube. If you're new to us on the tube, welcome. We're fucking with religion and creating community for atheistic thinkers and throwing around current event topics, popular pop culture subjects, whatever we like. Eric over here is so into science fiction that I think he. What's a good description? How into science fiction is Eric? He's so into science fiction.
Got,
he speaks
Rebel,
Klingon.
Trekkie, Whovian, all of the above. All of the above.
He's literally writing a reference book for science fiction, like an encyclopedia. How many pages is this Word doc? In the hundreds?
It's at least in 400.
Yeah, like 400 some
Yeah.
single-spaced
Yeah.
pages.
Yeah. No, Bohemian's right. Americans, don't get much travel time, much vacation time, and we're isolated. If you go to Mexico,
Yeah, Europeans think that we're so poorly traveled.
yeah,
but look at
it's
the size of the United
we're
States.
isolated. And what are you going to go to Canada? That's yes, great. No shade on Canada, but it's not exactly switching up cultures, in a hardcore way. So yeah, it's harder for Americans to travel, and even Mexico, you take your chances. You got to pretty much the average American's going to want to stick to a resort in Mexico, because if you look like you have any money at all in certain places, you might just get murked and your shit taken. It's just it's not as easy. But there is also the fucking that leads to that kind of prime main character syndrome that Americans have, where they can't imagine that it might be fun and decent and a good place to live anywhere else because they have it so good in Iowa. They've never met anybody that wasn't into the things they're into and look like them and talk like them. That's just, it's a big country and it's full of country. I'm from the country. I don't know, compared to both of these guys.
Yeah, so they were both kind of city mice.
And you wouldn't say that, because if I tell people I'm from Connecticut, they assume I'm from New York, But my town in Connecticut had 500 people, and the towns around me had similar populations. It's tiny towns, 2 wooden white churches, and everybody knew what you did.
Yeah.
That happened to me, but just because everyone knew my family. My grandma was a teacher turned school administrator. My grandpa was a politician. Like, everybody knew who I was related to. So like I couldn't do anything or get away with anything. There was no anonymity for me at all growing up.
Oh, you have a hard time converting. You just need to remember a few milestones, right? If you're like, I'm never going to be able to convert when it gets to really, really high degrees. We don't really deal with that. But as long as you know that 0 is freezing and 100 is boiling, and 21 is about room temperature, you can kind of figure out, if you've reached, 23, 24 degrees is a pretty fucking hot day outside, and the hottest it gets anywhere is probably what, 45 degrees, centigrade. I think that's like the song from the Burning Midnight, or the Burning.
Mhm.
What's the band from the 90s, the 80s, late 80s, 90s? Midnight Oil, the Australian band.
Oh,
How do we live our lives under? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That guy, one of those songs is "The Western Desert Lives and Breathes in 45 degrees."
Yeah. Okay.
So you're like Death Valley, places like that, the hottest
Sure.
it gets on the planet,
Yeah.
right? Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
Europeans, but I think 40, 45 is like, that's like burning ass.
Yeah, that is phenomenally hot.
Yeah, that's
Chris
like
said, I just
what we
noticed
say
Vader.
120 here.
Chris goes, just noticed Vader had a crucifix. It's actually just a cross. Crucifix has the body. Cross is just the T.
Catholic terminology for 100, Alex.
Recovering
point.
Catholic high.
Good point. Yeah. No, we did that today because he's got Superman's string. Superman can't actually fly. He's suspended from a string in the ceiling, and he goes in circles. And then Veda snatches him out of the sky because Veda is Lord. But anyway, that string is hanging out of our way, and I'm like, oh, he's hanging it off his hand. We could hang something on that. And I'm like, what do I got? I got 1,000,000 crosses for my skits. There I go.
A multi-pack of crosses.
There I go, cross.
Huh.
This is what Hobby
You
Lobby.
can buy them in bulk.
Hobby Lobby. These are right out front in the craft aisle.
Oh man.
You actually shot them?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
all
like,
of my props that I need for my anti-religious videos on TikTok
that is
come
funny.
from. I've probably bought 8 different kinds of
Please
crosses.
say the train whistle.
No, the train whistle did not come from.
Oh, okay.
That came from the other devil in society, Amazon. I wish.
Mm.
Oh, the YouTube camera fell. I was trying to get my man titties.
Yours and mine.
Yeah, I just got this thing rigged up on it.
You should be able to screw it in at the base.
This is just a webcam. I just have it.
Yeah.
Let's see, you want to screw the thing? Let's screw the thing.
I think the webcam screws.
Well, mine does, and it looks pretty similar. Let's see. Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, no, we don't have any high tech shit around here.
All right.
This is just like strictly Office Depot.
All right.
Webcams.
It'll eventually.
Really getting people sick.
Yeah, right.
Here, we're just having a Vader.
Yeah.
Just Lord Vader the whole time.
That's awesome.
Lord Vader.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So yeah, right at the beginning of the live, I was poking a hole in the top of that little wooden cross, trying to make sure I didn't break it, but so we could hook it onto the thing.
Oh boy.
It'll probably break if you try to take it off, though. It's really fragile the way that the grains are versus the cut of the cross, because they're just like stamped out of a sheet
At least I had pants on. When the
this
camera,
time.
that's what I mean. When the camera fell, it's like, Jesus, I'm not used to this. We'll have to get the. That's really annoying. I'm sorry, people. I'll have to. I had it before. It stayed good for a minute, right? Oh, wreck. See you later, Miss America. Thanks for jumping on. We appreciate you. I know it's goofy. I don't know how long we'll let this last, but.
Yeah, Judy says, no worries. This is a test run. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. We love
Appreciate
all
your
my-
grace.
all my people for sticking with us, because we're really, I have a feeling that we.
I have an idea.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I have an idea. Let's, instead of
Johnny
being
Shining
Kurt
says-
Johnson
Shining's
there.
here. Here's Johnny.
Oh, is there any more slack?
Yeah, there is.
Yes, there is. Okay, good. So Ben. All
Yep.
right.
There you go.
This is top-notch content right
Oh,
now.
there you go. It's a.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
You can
it
use
seems
as
to
a
be
stand
designed for.
to make it a
if you-
stand.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. Just clip it.
Come on.
Oh.
There we are. All right.
Almost.
Ba, 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 ba.
Almost.
There we are. I think
Yeah, a
that's
little bit
pretty
more.
good. A little more?
A little more.
How's that?
Like, I don't want Rob's chin like at the bottom of the screen. That just
Well, I'll lean back and jump.
it almost looks like a Kilroy thing.
Yeah. All right. There we are.
Thank you. Well
Now we
done.
got all of us.
Cutie Hippo. This is great behind the scenes kind of stuff, Chris. This is way better than Netflix.
Kind of, right?
Yeah. Did you hear about the chemist that joined a YouTube supremacy organization? Is this a headline or is this a
I
setup
think
to a
it's
joke? Like, I'm seriously wondering, like, is this a headline or is this a setup?
Yeah. Uncle Rusty the Clown. Let me see. Well, we're waiting for the punchline, buddy.
All right, serve it up.
What's the magic 8-ball say there, Rob?
Magic 8-Ball says,
Oh, it was called potassium.
I'm gonna reply hazy right now.
KKK.
Oh God. Oh no.
Periodic table.
Did someone think of that? Yes, really. I already had the shirt on.
Yeah,
Right?
so he was just showing off his new periodic
He
table
showed
show.
off
So he did
again,
bar
right?
trivia.
I'm glad you brought that up. We already showed it off. You got it right here. Find the K. KKK. Yes. Can you believe this thing came while we were at the tournament that I wanted to wear it to?
Yeah,
Wasn't supposed to come till Monday, so it comes early,
the day that we're doing the
but not early enough.
Yeah.
Damn it. What do you want, Ginger? What you made you do? Oh God.
does Ginger want to be on camera?
No, she doesn't. She
Wants to
hates
go
it.
outside,
She wants to go
doesn't she?
outside and do something. I don't know. She's just like, I think we got excited. No one's talking about you.
But I heard my name. You lied.
Yeah. The Native Atheist is with us on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for helping out with that.
Handsome Boston something. It cuts off.
Bohemian, come find me and we will save our money and we'll go. My kids are almost out of school pretty soon.
Sarcasm and whiskey joined.
Nice. Two of my favorite fucking things. Can we squeeze poker and women in there somewhere? Or poking women? Yeah, well,
Both.
like
both
a,
is
it could be like we could do a new version of, speaking of parody songs. Of these are a few of my favorite things.
I'm in.
Glistening boobies and really good bud.
He's got a whole spoof of Beyonce's Halo, and I was listening to it to see if I could hit the range.
Ah.
But
Yes,
it's
because we can record. All of us can record. The three of us should do some ditties. Because I got the whole. Well, you guys do too.
ditties.
Gonna make it. I got this mixer and the editing software right here.
Chris says they'll be back. Love the purple curls, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you.
type of code compliment.
Curls are natural. Hopefully,
Eric
everyone knows the
shaved his-
purple is not.
Eric shaved his. Feel free to grab a wig, Eric. There's the
Yes,
the
there's
costume drawers are
hats and
open.
wigs and shit over there.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
nice.
I should do this as Jesus. I have a whole Jesus outfit.
Oh, yeah.
I should just get on here as Jesus.
That would be great.
All right.
Oh, what we got here?
Ginger giraffe. I love my tall ginger women. Thank you for being here. Beautiful.
Linux hat.
Mm.
The Jesta. There's so many. You got the Walter Whitehead in there.
Oh, yeah,
You got the pork pie.
yeah.
You got the what.
Yeah. And a coffee refill.
When is it appropriate to make a joke about elements? Periodically.
Ah.
Good one, Bohemia.
Paul, a solipsist.
I didn't see that.
Solipsist.
Paul Solipsist is with us?
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Solipsist. I love it. Great name. Name of the day, maybe. That's a good one, man. And Salt Shaker Fire Rescue is with us. What is going on? I had the I should open up the here it is. The Reddit thing. I'm gonna look for the did you guys know that Japan outlawed religious indoctrination of children a year ago? Did you guys know this?
Nice. I should ask my cousin her thoughts on that. She's in Osaka, married with 2 kids.
That's really, really crazy. And I don't know why it didn't make, I guess I do know why it didn't make bigger news. But that is really, really encouraging. When we've got countries like Japan getting to the point where they're simply, they get it that religion is dragging society down. Period. And if you can end indoctrination, you can more surely end its influence in government, because no adult sooner or later are going to believe in it anymore, because very few people would come to it on their own. And we know that religion survives through indoctrination, and they're doing such a bad job of it in America that they're trying to get that religion codified. Why do you think Christian nationalists are doing what they're doing? They see it dying. And like Ben Franklin said, when a religion can't take care of itself and God's not stepping up to just dump money on it to keep it alive, so that religion has to go to the government and beg it for help, it's a pretty good sign it's a shitty fucking religion. Religion is either self-sustaining or it's not going to be viable. Them trying to get the government to fucking prop it up with essentially propaganda and the law of the land, Christian privilege masquerading as religious freedom. What the fuck are we talking about? It's fucking America. And it's 2024. We got people, we're going back to the moon. They've got satellites. You can look in the sky on a dark night and lay them and count satellites that attach to your phone, tell you where you are, and answer any question you could possibly have. The entirety of human knowledge is at our fingertips, people.
In this handy little box.
And we have people who think that there's a freaking God in the sky and trying to base a system of government on it. What the fuck happened? The Enlightenment was like, how many years ago, Eric? Quick math.
Oh, don't ask him to math out loud. He's bad at that. But
Well,
still.
Literally, though, it's like,
It's subjective, because when exactly did it begin? When exactly did it end? We don't really know. So how many years ago? But yeah, basically the Renaissance.
yeah, and what do you call the end of the Dark Ages, right?
Yeah,
Beginning of the
exactly.
Renaissance and
Yeah.
the end of the Dark Ages, somewhere around late
Sure.
1300s, maybe,
And
middle 1400s,
around
there.
that same time, you got the printing press.
Oh, yeah.
Around,
Martin
Gutenberg, Martin Luther.
Demanding that people, or men at least, should read the Bible.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, well, his argument was that the Bible superseded the authority of the Pope, and he wasn't the first one to make that
Right.
argument, but he was the first one to make that argument at a time in which enough German principalities and kingdoms wanted that to be the case, and because they were under the thumb of the Pope and wanted to get out from under.
yeah.
Yeah,
So there we are. I mean, we've had
Which
fucking
it kind of sucks, because Luther was also a horrible, deplorable racist.
damn near 7 centuries or 8
Absolutely.
centuries.
Like,
Well, of course, he was a shitbird. It's
yeah,
not,
all of-
it
it's like
wasn't going to get around
anti-Semitism
that.
shit.
Yeah, of course.
One of the books on my shelf that actually was gifted to me, I'm very appreciative of it. I've got a copy both in English and in German. Is of Martin Luther's, I want to say, 23rd book, which is called "On the Jews and Their Lives." In that book, he recommends that Jews be stripped of their ability to make money off of anything other than picks and shovels, that their synagogues and temples be closed, that they not be permitted to move freely within the country, stuff like that. All these things that he recommended were implemented after Kristallnacht,
Yeah.
the night of broken glass.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at it on the calendar, as Kristallnacht was taking place and it crossed over into midnight, and then the next day, after midnight the following day, it was Martin Luther's birthday. Now, I don't think that's a coincidence, but draw your own conclusions.
Rebelião Ateísta. What's up? It's our rebel atheist speaking to us in Portuguese. What's up, man? Do we know you? Thanks for being here, dude. Tell us something. Bom dia. Obrigado. Right?
Que onda?
Que onda? It's not Portuguese.
No? Que onda is Portuguese?
I don't think so. Maybe it's Spanish. I don't
Free
know.
speech, no
Yeah,
buts.
of course.
That's a great.
As I understand it, it means what's shaking.
Well, that's what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe they use it in Portuguese too. I recognize the writing. He's got that goofy the A with the
Mm-hmm.
the squig. What's the squiggle called? I can never remember all the diacritic marks. What they're actually
The
called.
tilde?
Is that a tilde or is it
Hang on, where
or
are we
tilde?
looking?
The curly mark. The A with the curly mark and the O. That's the same as ado in Spanish. I
Okay.
don't really know how they pronounce it. I think it's on. I think it's rebelión ateísta. Yeah, hopefully you can tell us. You were shocked at how awful who was, baby. We're all scrolling back.
Martin Luther. Oh yeah, Martin Luther being a terrible person.
Oh yeah, well, it's just no. Tell us something about yourself, ateísta. Do Brasil, or because
Is
we
that
have
the
another.
YouTube comments or the TikTok? I'm not seeing it in.
No, in the TikTok comments, he's just, see it? He just liked the live. He's got a cross, he's got like the cross crossed out for his.
Just gonna refresh this tab.
That's weird.
See if something's going on. Yeah.
Who was awful, Mountain Laurel? Who's she talking about?
Martin Luther.
Oh, thank you.
Followed up to clarify. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, because she looked into him too, apparently. Yeah, the way she wrote that sentence out of context makes it look like
Yeah, I
if she
first
went
heard
to see a
about that,
comic.
that
She was
connection
shocked at how
between
awful it was.
Martin Luther and anti-Semitism. I learned it through Madeline Murray O'Hare.
Well,
One
listen.
of her booklets outlined that argument. And at first I didn't take it too seriously because it was Madeline, and even her supporters called her Mad Madeline. But
Yeah, she was
it
nuts.
turns out she was absolutely right.
She was smart.
She was very smart.
She was
yeah.
really smart, but she was nuts. Yeah, there was.
When her body was exhumed, they found a whole bunch of nodules, along her spine.
Oh.
So she must have had fantastic back pain throughout her life, which kind of explains why she was such a bitch.
Makes anyone surly.
Yeah. I say pain
Yeah.
will make anyone cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal. Went for Madeline Murray O'Hare. Got the whole
There you
thing started, didn't she? Here, but yeah, that's too bad, that whole story.
Yeah. She did her thing at a time in which she almost had to be that type of a rabble rouser to draw that kind of a following.
When people talk about Martin Luther, and especially in terms of his anti-Semitism, you got to remember that that didn't set him apart. Every Catholic was a violent anti-Semitic because it was much closer to the day, and people really simply accused and blamed Jesus' murder on the Jews.
Yeah.
Jews to early Christians were the people that not only rejected Jesus, they actively fucking got him killed.
Mhm.
To the point where Jews used to just plain old be called Christ killers.
Mhm.
That was just a slur, right? It's a phrase. It's not even a word, but every church figure. It's not like Martin Luther was like most Christians really were accepting and loving of Jews. No. Like it's historically Jesus' death blamed on the Jews.
Martin Luther started out more liberal towards Jews. Started out being more accepting.
Really?
He really became more of a hardliner against Jews when they stubbornly refused to convert to Christianity. He just absolutely hated that. And well, if you're going to be that obstinate, fuck you.
Well, what did he
He didn't
think?
say that in those exact words, but that was basically his line.
It's kind of an unreasonable expectation. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah,
when when you really believe, when you're a believer, when you came along those times,
Mhm.
it was much harder to be a skeptic. We just didn't have the knowledge that we have today.
Sure.
Which Martin Luther are we talking about?
The first one.
The fucking German nail his sign on the church door guy.
Yeah.
The original, the one that all of the rest of them got named for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Martin Luther.
He was a
What years? Yeah, no, the Protestant Reformation was initiated by a guy named Martin Luther, and what town was it? I should know the town. I mean, it wasn't Germany at the time, clearly.
What, where he posted the
Yeah,
theses?
the town where Martin Luther's from.
Thuringen?
Yeah, maybe Thüringen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be right. But at some point, he essentially
Yeah.
created the giant fissure in what to that point was essentially one church in the West, the Roman Catholic Church, and created Protestantism. So, quick history lesson for you there, and a pretty pivotal figure in the history of the world. To take all of his personal foibles and flaws and failings for what they are. Not a lot of people in history can measure up, quite honestly, to the actual effect Martin Luther ended up having on on the rest of history. Kind of can't really talk about the history of the West without getting to that point.
Yeah.
Which I was so proud of us yesterday for getting all of those right in order.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
so proud of us.
Oh yeah, we had 9 historical.
9 historical events across
events.
the ages. Put them in all in order, and if you got one wrong,
Everything after that was not.
everything after that wouldn't count.
As soon as you get one wrong,
yeah,
it's
they
the
stopped.
counting of points
yeah,
stops.
it was like Millionaire. Like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where you can only go until you get one wrong. Which they could have done it a different way, right? If whichever one was in the right slot according to where it happened, you get credit for that one. And it's been like that in the past. And it was shit from the earliest one was the Vikings settling the New World, essentially.
Leif Erikson.
Leif Erikson in
specifically.
North America, and
And then there was the founding of the Knights Templar.
when the Knights Templar founded, and those to me that was the most confusing one.
Yeah,
except
because if you get those wrong, they're right at the beginning, and then
yeah,
the whole
and
thing
then you
would
get
be
nothing.
closed.
Yeah,
Did you look that up after?
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was right. You know,
I mean,
it was 1100 something for the Knights.
yeah. So
Okay.
we wound up getting these 9 things correct, and there were
And it
2
was-
points each, and it was after we'd had some not great rounds, so
Yeah.
it kind of pushed us back up near the top of the
Yeah, it probably essentially got us back in the money locally. What's up, Nick? Nikolai Science with us? What's going on, man? The Vikings got here. They got here way before Columbus, and they didn't leave as much syphilis behind. One for syphilis. What is the point of saying you're an atheist in a room full of Christians or Muslims? Probably no point. maybe you're a masochist. I don't know. I've done it with Christians.
The point is being the one free thinker in a room full of
Yeah.
people whose minds are in chains.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a need to say it because you're sticking up for yourself, like why would you out yourself? I'm not sure the nature of the question, honestly.
I always do my reciprocity thing. You try to convert me, you're fair game.
Columbus was a
Other than
shit
that, live
human.
and let live.
Yeah, Vikings got here way before Columbus. Yeah, because it was like Leif Erikson, the signing of the Magna Carta, Columbus first reaching the New World, whole bunch of stuff, and it was pretty much everything was like by century, but you had to know which one was in which century.
Boy, I'll tell you what, too. It's there's so much goes to luck, right? If Columbus had landed on the mainland and not a Caribbean island, excuse me, they might have shit might have worked out differently because you know why, right? You guys know why the Viking colonies didn't take in the New World, right? They finally found people that fucking fought back, and there weren't enough of them to win. I mean, it's essentially why they lost everywhere. The Viking culture died because they got beaten down. You can't go around making war on all your neighbors until you finally run into somebody who's bigger. So 1 or 2, 3 ships full of Vikings in North America, it's like, you know what? Yeah, this shit doesn't play here. Maybe you did get the first village, but then when the other million Indians come over the hill, it's like, okay, well, this land's already taken, I guess. But in the Caribbean, small island, no resistance at all to disease and a small enough population, all of a sudden there's no more Seminole Indians and there's no more Taíno Indians, and the Spanish have a hold in the New World. That's other than that, we might, there might be a more Viking. The Vikings have made it all the way down to. Imagine if the Vikings had gotten to Bermuda or some shit.
That would have been fun.
Right? Yeah, the TV show there.
There's a school of thought that the Palestinians may have, some Viking ancestry because there were talks in ancient manuscripts about the sea peoples who came in from the Mediterranean and conquered and settled the region. It's just possible, it's not outside the realm of possibility. We're talking about way back during Phoenician times.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, it makes sense if they made it to the Mediterranean that they probably
Yeah.
got all, once you got there,
Yeah.
then like the weather's a little bit easier, right? And you can
Sure.
probably a lot easier to sort of sustain if you don't actually get beaten down.
I mean, it's an old form of piracy, to instead of attacking ships, attack coastal towns.
Right. Yeah.
Like the Barbary Corsairs.
Poorly defended fishing
Mhm.
villages and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Sure.
Clearly. And then you can restock and move on. You don't even need to really lay waste. It's just easy to get repaired and get food and
Yeah.
and so it's easy to assume that once, if we think that I don't know if they think the Vikings got through the Straits of Gibraltar or came across France.
Sure.
Either way,
Mhm.
maybe they,
Yeah.
Hard to say. If you watch the series, they want to imagine that they influenced French politics.
Mm.
I don't know how. Did you watch Vikings? I don't know how true to history any of that is.
I have not watched Vikings.
We haven't. Like one of them makes it to French court and ends up marrying a French,
Uh,
and becoming someone who could influence French politics in, the year 900. Okay.
that might be interesting. I mean, it's more of a historical fantasy, but
That's what I mean. Once it got to that point, like, do we have anything to back this up?
yeah, I mean, there's
We know they got to North America.
there's all kinds of historical dramas where they take huge liberties.
Of course.
I mean, The Great is
Oh
lasted
yeah, the
3
Russian.
seasons. Yeah, and it finally ends with Catherine the Great dancing to fucking AC/DC. So it's the whole thing is anachronistic.
But hilariously so. Like,
Oh my
it's,
God.
it's fun
Mhm.
the way they do it. And they straight up say, like, in the title card or whatever, something like, a somewhat historical representation, or like based on true events, but we took some liberties, like, and they admit it.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Shining says the only thing flat earthers fear is sphere itself. I like that one.
Yeah.
Your crowd is growing? Yeah, well, I hear you saying. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's only like 11 people watching. But we're trying to get going on YouTube too, so that you guys aren't on YouTube, right?
I
quite
do
hard to
have
do
a
that.
thing where I put it's called Hildy's MK videos.
Yeah.
But do you
I
follow
don't have
this?
very
Is
much
what we're
on
talking
it.
about.
I did follow. Well, let me fix that
Go check. Yeah.
Here, keep a second. I go
Alright.
follow my.
because I think this is the first time hearing that you're on YouTube. So
Well, we haven't been on YouTube.
yeah.
Right. It's been a minute.
All right. So we gotta do some filler here while Rob goes and does a thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's on your mind here?
Let's check the comments. Nothing really going on in the comments. Anything on YouTube? Columbus also thought the Earth was smaller than it really was. If there was any land here, he thought him and his crew would have died long before making it to India.
Mm.
The native people are like, thanks for the smallpox. Have some syphilis.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Screw you, buddy. I mean,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. What was that old chestnut that civilization and syphilization happened at roughly the same time?
Oh my.
Yeah.
You're right, though. It's civilization.
Civilization. That's
Yeah, because,
Yeah. And someone commented that
thanks for the smallpox. Here, have some syphilis.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the title of your YouTube channel?
It's Atheist
Same thing,
Underground.
Atheist
Yeah,
Underground.
It's
same
all
thing.
Atheist Underground. It's easy. Here's some free blankets. Sky Clower. I love it. Hey,
Who doesn't love free blankets?
everybody.
Eh.
Mm.
Thanks. Yeah, they did think the Earth was smaller, right? They thought they were making it to India,
Mm.
but that's what you get when you don't have a slide rule.
Well, yeah, I think the first island that Columbus landed on might have been Hispaniola or
I was
something.
like, yeah, it was in the
like that.
Caribbean.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
mainland North
Yeah,
America.
but
It was an
they
island.
heard that there was a big giant island to
No,
the north of them, and they thought for sure that must be Japan.
Ah, okay.
And
No, it was
It
the
was
little
Cuba.
island. The little island is called San Salvador, and the big
San
island,
Salvador.
the big island would have been Hispaniola that they were directed to. San Salvador was
okay.
the first. I always
Yeah,
remember
yeah, I
that's the
remember
first place he
that.
landed was called San Salvador,
Okay.
because I always used to confuse it with El Salvador, the actual country.
Mhm. But yeah, I'm trying to work on and upload a bunch of Laverne and Shirley videos to Eric's MKE vids.
The wordsmith says obviously the Sphinx was carved that way. His own syphilis as plain as the nose off his face.
Oh. I thought the nose was lost because some French soldiers shot it off.
Oh yeah, no, this guy's
Yeah.
making a joke for the sake
Okay,
of it.
yeah.
I said it's the nose. It's plain as the nose on his face. It's as plain as
Right.
so. The Sphinx's syphilis is as plain as the nose off his face.
But
It will. It'll rot your cartilage away sooner or later. That's what they had. Some of that shit that they had at that surgeon's college was like syphilis corpses and how bad it fucking eats your fucking body away if you let it take like the disease take its course all the way. It's a fucked up disease, man. Woo!
hooray for modern antibiotics.
Yeah, the old penicillin. Bassop is with us. I don't know how long we're gonna keep going on the talk. It's already noon. That puts us at 2 hours on the talk. I wanted to talk about like some of these Reddit articles that were up. And I didn't write them down, so I can't find out what they were. But we talked about the Japan before you got here. I think Eric, Japan outlawed. Were you here when we talked about that? Japan outlawed indoctrination of children a year ago.
Yeah.
Really?
So I just shot a message to my cousin.
You don't hear anything about
on it because my cousin is raising 2 kids in Japan.
And the reason they did that is because somebody murdered
Yeah.
one of their former prime ministers got murdered exactly
Yep.
out of office. And it was a religious fanatic, and they're like really targeting. The article said that they're
Oh, is that
targeting
the Shinrikyo?
it's the Moonies essentially, and the JWs are the ones that they're really targeting because they're starting to take over people's minds, and they've identified it as a threat to. Honestly, it said anything that might interfere with a child's potential career. It's
Yeah.
so fucking logical
Yeah.
how they're thinking about it, and including threats of hell. If you threaten a child with hell, eternal punishment,
Mm.
if he doesn't follow your religion, you can be jailed for that. Fucking A. I mean, it's like we're getting somewhere as a species somewhere, man.
I've said it before, but Japan does culture right. And Carrie, you got relatives over there. You know what I'm talking about there. I mean, I'm so very impressed with Japanese culture at every turn.
Yeah, it's great, man. That's why I love Shogun so much. You have to watch it. It's
Well, that too.
God, is it good.
I was thinking something a little bit more modern.
I just mean in general, just
A lot of it goes back to
just the exposure of the language and the art, the sensibility. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the U.S., young women 18 to 25 are no longer more religious than men. Yes. Well, women are smarter, so I always wondered how that plays. It's like, yeah, okay. And then all through I'm believe me, I'm 100% on board. I'm one of those guys.
Mm.
I'm right on board with the idea that in general, women can be counted on to sort of think things through a little bit more than men. I just say that's just a feeling that I can't really back up with any science. So
feel like
when I
that's
hear
why
the
you like
song,
hanging out
that's
with me.
right, the women are smart. No, you're the exception that proves the rule. But that song, to me, that's just a great song, and it's the right way to approach women. At least by assuming that they're smarter and letting them know that you think they're smarter. Whether they are or they aren't is essentially immaterial. But I'm always like, okay, how do women brag about being smarter while simultaneously being more religious than men? Like something's not a connect here. Well, finally, no, the curve. Look it up. The curve is there's a study from Ryan Burge, General Society, General Social Survey, 88 to 2021, and the trends are pretty clear.
Yeah.
Where now women are
You should be able to share screen, if you want to.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. On YouTube.
Boy, oh boy, you're gonna see. That's what I need you guys for. I have no idea how that's gonna happen. Look what I just did. I don't even know I did that.
Hit escape if you want to, or
Yeah. Well, this will help maybe. This way I like, but I don't know how to share this.
It should be. No, I can't see it. Just,
Anyway, that's good news.
Yeah.
I know we can work on all that
Yeah.
shit. I want to figure out all of our studio stuff and you use other sources and then you connect it to YouTube.
Mhm.
You don't do it in the YouTube. I see, to me, the YouTube Studio seems like it ought to be more useful, more,
Mhm.
kind of instinctive.
Yeah.
But it's not really. I haven't been able to figure out like how to make credits, and I see these guys that have these pre-made intros and outros that they do. They're out there like, oh my god, I need a team of people to help. But anyway, we're bleeding viewers fast and running out of shit to talk about, so we're gonna cut it off there. I think. Thank you for joining us on TikTok. We hope it lasts so that we can be back and do this again. Maybe we'll hang out for a minute on YouTube. Take it easy, buddy. Love everybody. Love you guys. Long time. Thanks, Carrie, for being here. Eric for showing up. And we'll see you next Sunday, if not before. Bye.
All right. And then farewell to YouTube. Or are we going to keep going?
No, there's nobody really going on. Thank you, Marion, and thank you, Bohemian, and thank you, everybody, for jumping on YouTube. We'll do it again, and we'll start doing it more regularly so that we can count on a spot. On yeah, no, it's just about, thank you, Marion. It's just about dedicating a little bit of time. I think that's Cutie Hippo. Did she tell us that's who Marion Batista? I think that's Cutie Hippo. Marion. But, yes, no, I agree. We had it going for a while, and then we just sort of stopped doing it. Like I said, because Jay stopped helping. But if we can get a little team together, we can get some guests. We can do some fun stuff, some different skits.
All right.
Post some shit on YouTube, make some different content, and
Sing
build it
some
up.
moves.
Because I don't have any real, faith that TikTok's gonna make it. I don't know. So thanks for being here. Love you guys. We will see you next week.